So long story short, we're here at Best Buy, and I might buy a double din, one that has CarPlay, of course. So I'm thinking about it. So we're gonna go ask the guy right now if they have it in stock, and we might buy a double din. So this is what they have right now, and I'm thinking about getting this one right here, cause it has CarPlay, and that's really all I want. I just want with CarPlay, to be honest. But we're just here looking around. So they actually don't have it in stock, so I might just order this one online. And yeah, because my truck doesn't have a double din, and it's actually something I need. So I might take care of that right now and just purchase this one. Also, another thing, I was gonna get a Pioneer originally, but the trim on this one is gloss black, and this one's gonna match my bezel, which is a matte black. So yeah, so I might just order this one right now, and it's free shipping too to the house. So today is Saturday, and it'll get here by Thursday, maybe a little quicker. So yeah, we might just order it right now. All right, so they didn't have it in stock, so I did end up ordering it. So y'all subscribe to the channel because the stuff don't come cheap. So make sure you like my videos. But yeah, so I'm gonna stay tuned for this video because I'm gonna wait till Thursday to install it. These are actually badass. Bro, why is actually wait, it's actually not bad. 125. Yeah. We originally came, well, I just came to like window shop, but now I did my first financial mistake. I'm actually really excited for that because I did get one that has CarPlay, so that's gonna come in real handy for a lot of occasions. So we out Best Buy, and please subscribe to the channel. Stuff ain't cheap. David has one on his truck,
but I don't got CarPlay.
So I spent the extra money just for that CarPlay feature. Because CarPlay, if you don't know what CarPlay is, connect your phone to the radio. You basically get a display like on the radio that's like your phone, and you get to. It's a cool feature. I'm gonna have to show you guys when I get the radio. But fucking Houston weather. Houston weather sucks ass, and it's a fact, mate. Can I get a cheeseburger with some chips and a bottle of water? The single din that I have right now doesn't even have Bluetooth, so I have to. So what I was doing it like a little Mickey Mouse way. I get the Bluetooth adapter and just connect that to the aux, and that was my Bluetooth. So yeah, finally we took care of that. So I'm gonna catch you guys like in Thursday or whenever it gets here. It's gonna be like Christmas for me, but stay tuned. Alright guys, so it is currently Thursday, and now I am finally gonna hook up the double din. So I actually have a lot to do, so I'm gonna try to hurry this up before it gets dark. I just got home from work and I'm trying to get this. So tomorrow when I take it to work, I can have everything ready. But if you guys have a 99 through 02, Silverado, GMC, like Tahoe, anything 99 through 02 GM, you're gonna need these couple of things to make the double din conversion. Because I actually didn't know that you had to get these certain parts until a couple of days ago. So looking back at it, it is a good thing that the radio wasn't in stock, because if not, I would have just made myself look dumb. But I got the right parts, and it's gonna install this. You're actually gonna need the 03 to 06 bezel, because if you look at this opening for the radio, it is a lot bigger. But however, unfortunately, the AC controls on a 99 through 02 will line up to here, so you're gonna have like a little gap. But that's when this cage comes into place, that it will bring, you would just have to drill the AC controls onto normally, and the radio is gonna fit flush. Like, it's gonna make everything look OEM. Like, we don't want to Mickey Mouse stuff over here. But yeah, if you guys notice why it has these holes, is because you have to drill out the rivets, because they're literally on there. So like the only option you have is to drill them out, but that's really not a big deal. That's like the least of our problems. But yeah, let's get to work, and I'm gonna explain everything step by step. If you guys are wondering, this is the head unit that I went with. I'm gonna show you guys why I went with this unit and not like a Pioneer or anything like that. Nothing against Pioneer, it's just that, you know, I wanted to be different, and I got this. And my favorite part, CarPlay, and of course we got the dash kit right here. So yeah, let's get to work because I have a lot of work ahead of me. Also, look at that, how fun. But sorry if I'm speeding through this really quick. It's just that I'm trying to knock this out the way before it gets dark. And it is it's not that hard, but it's my first time doing it, so I'm learning as we're doing this together. But first things first, we have to take off this bezel. All right, I know the camera angle's not gonna be the best, but literally to take off this bezel, put the truck in first, bring the steering wheel down, and then we're gonna undo all these clips right here. I can undo them. the bezel just comes off like that. So once the bezel is taken off, we're gonna have to take off the radio, and then there's gonna be 7mm screws. There's gonna be 4 holding this radio cage in place, and then we're gonna have to take off this AC controls. For regular 99302 trucks, it's just clips, but I don't know why it's bolted on for some reason. So that's interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys why you need to change the bezel, because on the 03 to 06 bezel, which is what you're gonna need for the double din conversion, the bezel comes down, and the AC controls will literally the AC controls need to come down with it, because the screen is bigger. So that's why we have the cage. So it's gonna make everything look way better. And I know they sell the aftermarket 99302 double din bezel already cut, but honestly I want to keep the OEM look, because this interior color is really nice, and I don't want to put the boring black one, because I want to keep everything, I want to make everything look OEM. So this is the one I have, and this is the one that we're switching up to. As y'all can see, look at the radio cutout on this one compared to that one. The double din needs the bigger space, so that's why we're switching to that bezel. I mean, you need to switch to it anyways. And of course, if you're gonna put that bezel, you need to put this radio cage. But yeah, I actually didn't know the differences until like a couple days ago. So thankfully, I had like the couple of days to get all the brand new parts. So now to pull off the old radio, there's usually these clips that you just bring down like that, and it comes off. So just squeeze them down. And then this truck has the aftermarket harness already, so literally all I have to do is just unplug that, and we're good to go. Thankfully the previous owner did not cut up any of the factory wiring, because if not, we would have been fucked. That's one. The antenna, fucking RCAs for the subs. Damn, what the hell? So the RCAs for the subs, and then my remote wire for the amp. You need to take this off. So yeah, just like that, the old radio is off, and now we're gonna have to take off this AC control with the two 7mm bolts. So this is the aftermarket harness that they got, and this plugs up to the factory connection, and you just splice these together. Honestly, it's just color to color, so that's why, like, if you guys didn't know that, literally it's just color to color if you have the aftermarket harness. So yeah, I'm gonna cut these off, and then I'm gonna reuse this harness for the new radio harness. Sorry if I said harness too many times. Now we're gonna undo these two bolts right here. So let's get this. All right, so now the AC controls are off. Now we're gonna have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all 7mm bolts. I'm gonna try to give you guys a close-up. I know it sucks, but I mean, I'm working with what I got right now. That's 1, 2. Right there. So maybe the hardest part out of this whole job is to drill out these little rivets in the back right here, because that is what's holding it in place. Everything else is already loose. Everything's unbolted, as you guys can see, but we're gonna have to drill these rivets out. All right, so I'm gonna try to show you guys to see what I mean. The drill, the thing to make the hole, and we're just gonna try to drill out those rivets. Now we're gonna drill out the other one. Down. These things are gonna be on there good, so if they're on there pretty tight or on there snug, I mean, that's just how they are. So I actually got it to come off. Oh, I forgot, there's a little clip back here that's holding the cable in, but after that, we're gonna take everything out the way. And after that, it's pretty much loose, but a little clip back here. Let me show you guys. So let me just pop that out real quick. So just like that, the old radio cage came off. So let me show you guys the difference between the 03 to 06. That's the one we just took off. You see it has the clips right here for the single dins. And then this one has, and this one is where the radio bolts on through the screws right there. 99302 setup, and then 03 to 06 setup right there. But look at this bullshit. all this trash went into my console, but thankfully it's just the top right here, so we can just pop this up real quick. And thankfully it mainly fell onto the cup holders, but the cup holders really just pop off. And just like that, she good as new. But I am gonna have to come in here with the vacuum and dispose of all of the little extra stuff. But I mean, not really a big deal. But yeah, now we're gonna, I think we have to cut some of the, we're gonna have to cut this piece right here to make it flush with the line. And on the new cage, we're gonna have to cut some of the stuff out to make it bolt on. All right, so really quick, I want to give a huge shout out to the Wild team, because I actually DM him on Instagram, and he told me the parts I needed, because he's like a specialist on these type of trucks. He actually has the 03 to 06 double din conversion on his personal trucks. So big shout out to him. Going off based on his video to see how to install the new cage and all that. So I'm getting all my information from him. So I'm gonna link down his video below. We could all be on the same page. We're gonna have to cut this piece right here and make it flush. So I'm gonna try to use this blade to see if it could work. So here's my cut. I mean, not bad. We just have to notch it because the AC control will hit, because it is coming down. And I literally try to do it by hand, so I said fuck that. With the power tools, it literally cuts through it like butter. But I think we're gonna have to cut off some of the 03 to 06 radio. I think he said we're gonna have to cut this little leg out, so because I think if we test fit it, it won't fit. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and cut off this leg, and we're gonna cut off right here, because it has a bar in the back and it's basically hitting. So I'm gonna start off cutting here, and if it still hits, I'm just gonna cut off from here. I mean, that's what he did in his video anyways, but we're gonna have to cut off this little leg for sure on the left. So let's do that. So this is my first time doing this, so I'm learning as we go. So like I said, cut off the leg, and I cut off this. But if it still notches, I'm just gonna cut it off through, let me see if I can show you guys. I'm just gonna cut it off through here. But first I went to see if I could clear it like that. If not, it's not a big deal, I'll just cut it off. But you see with power tools, it literally took like 10 seconds. And the leg too. But yeah, let's test fit it. And I think now if everything lines up, it should bolt on. So I did go up and just cut it from there. And now it should clear. So let's see if it fits. Honestly, it should. It doesn't have a reason for it not to fit. There's so many cables though, like, just annoying. And looks like it is lining up. Now honestly, it's just to bolt it on. Yeah, so now we're just gonna bolt it on. Oh, it's too loose. My dumbass had it for the lefty loosey. So that's one. As y'all can see, all the bolts line up. Just have to push this back a little bit. It's probably just all these cables in the way, because they're not supposed to be in the way like that. Let me just touch them in already. So that's one. Now the top right one. If I can line it up. The top left one. So just like that, the 03 to 06 cage is officially on. Now to see if everything could bolt on as it should. So finally we have all the screws put back together. It's just held on by 3, but honestly this thing is not gonna go anywhere. And it's a house impact too, so it's honestly gonna stay strong. But yeah, now I'm gonna see if we can get the AC controls. But honestly, so what you have to do for this conversion, notch it from here, cut off the leg right there. It hit, so you have to notch it out. And from the back, so we can clear the metal bar, as you can see. We did have to cut it, but honestly, just 3 cuts. One at the bottom, the left leg at the bottom, and just from the back where it has that big old. But other than that, now we're gonna bolt on the AC controls, and after this it's pretty much easy. But this is officially the 03 to 06 radio cage. So we're gonna line it up to see if it fits with the screws right here, the middle ones. but I don't know if it's gonna line up. If you have a bolt that's long enough, it's gonna bolt on. So let's just hope that I can get it to bolt on. Also, another thing, I would suggest to keep the legs, because since this one goes a little bit more in, the legs help it pop it up. So it keeps the look flush. Because if you just cut off the legs and you screw it on, like the AC controls are gonna sit back here instead of sitting up front here, if that makes sense. So I got the AC controls bolted on. So you have to bolt them on a little bit, but honestly, this thing is not gonna go anywhere. As long as they're decently long, it'll go in. So you have to pop this trim out, pop it back in. And then I'm gonna test fit the bezel to see if everything lines up as it should. I just test fitted the bezel, and honestly, like it sits on pretty good. I might just have to bring it out just a bit. But other than that, if I bring it out just a bit, I think it'll sit perfectly. So I'm not gonna test fit it until I put on the radio. So I'm gonna just loosen the bolts just a tiny bit. But I mean, for the first test fit, it honestly doesn't even fit that bad. So this is what I was talking about. If you would have just put the 03 to 06 bezel without this cage, your AC controls will sit like up to here, and you literally have the space of a gap. So that is why you switch the radio cage, so those AC controls can come down too. So now pretty much I'm gonna just undo those bolts later, but right now I'm gonna focus on connecting the harness. So this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take the radio harness. So this harness that's connected, I'm gonna chop it off from here, so I can have this harness by itself and take off the radio one. And I'm just gonna splice this together, basically color to color how it is here. And I'm gonna connect it, and I'm gonna crimp them on together. Connect them first to see if the radio power is on and everything works. And then after that, if I see everything's working properly, I'm gonna crimp them together just like this. And pretty much that's how you connect the radio. But you should get an aftermarket harness, because this just plugs into the factory plug, and honestly, it's just easy work, color to color. So I've seen some people, they literally just cut up the factory plug, and it's honestly such a big mess when this little harness is just like 10 bucks. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna focus on connecting these two, and I'm gonna catch you guys after everything's spliced in together. All right guys, so I have everything crypted on now, including the remote wire for the amp. And honestly, I did test it before I crimped everything. Those are the connections I went with. I know there's plenty of other ones, but yeah, everything did work. So where are my keys? I can't do a sound test because I'm using my phone and my phone connects to this, but y'all see the radio's on. So it's the amp right there. Now all I have to do is install the dash kit, and we're pretty much done, and connect the RCAs, but that's about it. I'm gonna turn off the radio, turn off the ignition. Alright, so now I'm gonna install the dash kit. Also, let me give you guys some reasons why I went with this radio. If you guys could see, the radio has a matte black finish from the front. So honestly, it blends in really well with the bezel. And since it doesn't have a CD player, it has the body of a single DIN, but it has the face of a double DIN. So you guys can see that's a single DIN, and this is technically a double DIN, but it has the body of a single DIN. So it has a backup camera input, so I'm gonna be adding one later. But right now, let me install a dash kit, because honestly getting really late. So let me install a dash kit, bolt everything on, and I'll catch you guys back when everything is officially on. Good afternoon guys. So it is currently the second day after the radio installation, and everything went well. I clamped the cables together, plugged everything, hooked up the microphone, and literally I didn't have no struggles at all. When you have the proper tools and the proper equipment, whenever you have everything lined up, like, it's honestly just gonna go simple. It feels better in there, but I'm kind of used to it already. Like, it's nothing new, like technology wise, it's nothing new to me, so I'm kind of used to it already. I got used to it in a day. So let me show you guys the outcome. So if you open it here, that is the outcome right here. Damn it, boy, check that out. AC controls. I do have a little bit of a gap, I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, that's my other one had a gap too. But yeah, check that out. It honestly looks freaking beautiful. And this is what I was talking about. This matte black finish matches with the matte black down here, and it has a volume knob too, which not a lot of aftermarket radios come with. But yes, this is the 03 to 06 bezel. The opening for the radio is way bigger. If you guys want to do the same thing to your truck, I literally followed Desigual's video, so if you guys want to check that out, I literally got my steps from him. But really happy with how it came out. I just gotta figure out how to make this work so I can open my coin tray. But other than that, it honestly came out good. And I'm gonna show you guys the radio with a little bit of the tricks and what it has. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the truck, and the radio will power on. So this is the radio, guys. It's really nothing crazy, but I'm just gonna give you guys a quick walk around because I know probably a lot of you guys have not seen this radio, like you've seen all the Pioneers. So it has your tuner, which ends up being the regular radio, but I mean, I'm never gonna use that. I only got this radio for Bluetooth and Apple Carplay. It has your phone stuff here, so you know, you get to call people and all that. It's cool, whatever. USB, so you get to watch your USB stuff. So Bluetooth audio basically shows you what you're playing. And I do notice that this radio has a louder outcome for the speakers, and the volume gets higher too. Aux, which I mean is right there. Rear camera, which I am gonna hook up one pretty soon, so stay tuned for that video. I just gotta figure out how to wire everything. I did everything by myself for this installation. My first time hooking up a radio and doing stuff like this, so I'm really proud of myself. And the settings, what's it called, general, which ends up being like the basics and all that. If you click on sound right here, you get to mess with the sound stuff, so extra bass, yada yada yada. Balance faders, where you adjust where you want the sound coming out from, so that's pretty cool. Let me see, visual, not really much. You get to change the wallpaper. You have all these different settings, but I mean, I wish you were able to upload your own picture. I thought this one had it, but I guess it doesn't, so it's pretty disappointing because I was gonna put a picture of the truck. But I mean, it is what it is. And of course Bluetooth, I mean, that's literally nothing new. And yes, this radio does have CarPlay, so it is pretty cool, and it shows you all the stuff on your phone. And the radio does connect really quick. Like as soon as it powers on, it takes like 5 to 10 seconds to connect. So as you're getting ready to head out, your phone will be connected, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna give you guys a little sound test. It's actually gonna be my first time clicking tuner. I've messed with everything else, but I haven't messed with the actual radio stations, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, so that's actually pretty cool. It pre-saved the ones that my old radio had. Also, I know yesterday the lighting sucked, but here's the box again. Sony 6.2. Works with CarPlay, and it says a USB high charge, or where is it, USB high charge. But I definitely have to hook up a backup camera because the freaking tint that I have right now, and that ass cannot see anything at night as I'm backing up, so I need a backup camera. What's it called? It honestly connects pretty quick. So here's my Spotify playlist, and I'm gonna give you guys an audio test with my personal music, because with Bluetooth music, it sounds a lot clearer than radio music.
I probably should pick
And I like the volume knob right here.
Like, do you love me? Do you love me not? Wet like water, can I love on you? Withdrawals, I'm feeling different every time. I'm stamping her. Other bitches mad at her, too mad.
I usually don't listen to rap that much, but I know that song has pretty good bass. I'm gonna play some corridos or just Hispanic music and show you guys the difference. But you can't mess with it to get a little bit more bass out of your Hispanic music, because for like whenever you play Mexican music or whatever, the bass is not that much compared to rap. So but thankfully you can mess with the radio to get a little bit more out of the radio for bass. My coworker actually told me about that, so it's gonna help a lot for my Mexican music, because like 80% of the time I'm listening to Mexican music. And honestly, the touch response is pretty good too. Alright, so now I'm gonna play some Bad Bunny. can actually mess with the tone, so sound, like DSO. This is what helps you get more dump out of the bass. So listen to it. So it helps you get more loudness out of all your speakers. As you guys heard, my Dolby speakers went crazy when I put that to high. Alright, so now I'm gonna do my favorite part about this whole radio. We're gonna hook up the CarPlay. First things first, you wanna hook up the USB up here up front. Has the port right there, and then we're gonna connect it to the phone. It doesn't take that long for it to load. And boom, we're in CarPlay. So if you guys don't know what CarPlay is, it gives you an interface from your phone. This radio only has CarPlay. It doesn't have Android Auto. I mean, I really don't have a use for Android Auto anyway, so I mean, that's why I got this. But this is the Spotify, so let me give you guys a quick walk around. Let me not show my address, but it gives you all these different options, and the touch response is pretty good too with CarPlay. For being an aftermarket system and for it to have CarPlay, that's badass. Settings, you get to mess with it. What's it called? Phone, yada yada yada. Do this. What's it called? Spotify, you can mess with with your stuff. Gives you my whole playlist here. But let's put some secreto.
Facebook, YouTube.
So here I have my microphone up here. So if you want to play a song, I'm gonna give you guys an example right now. Hey Siri. But one last look. Honestly, I'm really happy with how everything came out. So if you guys are curious, this is how a 99302 double link conversion comes out to. And I'm glad I went this route because it literally looks OEM. Like, if I didn't tell you guys that I changed out these parts, you probably wouldn't even have noticed. But yeah, it's pretty badass how I still got to keep everything looking OEM. I'm gonna give you guys one sound test of the mic, so you guys could hear what it sounds like whenever I'm gonna be talking on the phone. You guys are currently hearing me on the radio mic, so whenever I'm gonna be talking on the phone, this is what it's gonna sound like. Keep in mind, this is aftermarket, so it's not gonna sound the best, but yeah, that's how it is, just to give you guys an idea. I'm gonna close out the video here, just showed you guys a couple features of the radio, and I'm sorry I haven't been posting because I've been busy with work, but I'm gonna try to do better on that. But anyways, make sure to drop a like on the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.